the way it was phrased. Look, I can't stress enough how dangerous trading is. And I've said that many, many times. Like, this channel has been around since 2016. And prior to that, I was on the World Crypto Network for about 2 years. So since 2014, I have been doing videos. And yes, a lot of the videos have to do with trading. I was doing less videos on trading at one point, but there is demand for trading. And one of the reasons I do videos about trading is because I try to teach people to trade responsibly. And I don't know how many times I've said that trading is dangerous and you should only do it if you know what you're doing and you're properly educated. And yet, anytime you want to teach people on how to properly trade and not end up in this position, you are called a scammer. So this is the part that really bothers me, okay? Now, also, as far back as I remember, going back to the World Crypto Network, I have been very critical of Robinhood, even before most people have heard of Robinhood. I don't know how to find those random videos from 2014 and 2015 or 2016. I don't remember when Robinhood launched. So I don't want to say that I talked shit about Robinhood in 2014 when Robinhood didn't start till 2015, because I don't remember. But as far back, so since the first day I heard or I mentioned Robinhood, obviously it had already existed. I don't remember when that was. Could have been 2014, could have been 2015, could have been 2016. It doesn't matter. I have always been critical of the Robinhood app because I always saw the Robinhood app as being predatory to wheel in traders that don't know what they're doing, like young kids, for trading. The way I see the shitcoin space as being predatory towards, separating people from their actual valuable Bitcoin. And I also commented on tweets like this that say, my son just told me that he can only play Fortnite games in the evenings because half of his squad started trading on Robinhood, and his son is 10. Okay, so there you go. I mean, it's possible that the 10-year-old is playing games with adults, but chances are a lot of kids are trading on Robinhood by using their parents as KYC or something. Okay, so one of the things that I was all critical of Robinhood back in the day, one of the things that I was critical about Robinhood back in the day is their zero-fee trading. So zero-fee trading basically encourages more gambling. Okay, like the easier you make it and the more fun you make trading, the more predatory it becomes for young people that don't know what they're doing. And this is why learning to trade is important. And I don't care where you learn how to trade, but learning to trade from free Google resources is not a good idea. Okay, so all I can talk about is how I learned how to trade and how much it cost me. And it cost me $8,000. So it wasn't cheap. And the company that I learned to trade from ended up being sued for being a scam. Now, to me, they weren't a scam because they taught me how to trade. But what happens is people that didn't take the opportunity to advance their own education on their own decided to sue the shit out of this company over the years. And they ended up filing for bankruptcy. And they were basically, if you Google that company, they're known as a scam. But to me, they weren't a scam because I learned how to trade from them. But then I continued to study. So it's, to me, starting to trade with real money and real leverage and something as crazy as options. Options are one of the most dangerous financial instruments to trade. I don't know. I've stressed this many, many times. You want to read the story of long-term capital management, which almost blew up the entire financial system right there. Wikipedia is probably not the best of sources, but I'm not really a fan of Wikipedia. So maybe we can find something else. Investopedia is a little bit better. Anyway, read the story of long-term capital management. It was a hedge fund ran by Myron Scholes and Robert Merton, two of the people that invented the option pricing model. The third guy was deceased, so he wasn't in the fund with them. So options are incredibly dangerous. And when you read this article, they describe the potential, screw up in the display of Robinhood, which is bad on Robinhood's part. Again, this is all speculation because no one really knows exactly what happened. And Forbes probably should never publish this article. But like I'm reading it and I'm understanding what they're talking about. But at the same time, you need to know what you're doing so that if you see it, like I can tell you horror stories from my APIs. I started trading options before there were even phone apps. So I switched brokers, literally to a broker that had the most up-to-date smartphone app, just so I can trade from my cell phone. This is back in like 2000, I don't know, 9 or something like that. 2009, 2010, when the first apps were coming out. And there was one time when I log into my phone app account and I'm literally inside someone else's account. And I'm looking at these positions. Now, if you know what you're doing, you would not panic. And so it's to me, I always equate trading to things like driving cars and playing poker. And like you don't just do these things. You don't just go into like high stakes poker games. I mean, you could if you have the excess capital. And you don't just get behind the wheel of a car and go race car driving without proper education on how to drive a car. And it really kills me when people make fun of those that want to educate others on how to trade safely. And it discourages people from proper education. And this is where I wish Tyler Jenks was here, where eventually all of my videos will be free, eventually. But it does take effort. There is also a reason why your driving instructor is not going to be teaching you for free unless it's your parents. So yes, one of the first things I would be teaching my kids is financial responsibility. And if they're going to trade, they have to be properly educated to learn how to trade. And I don't care where you learn how to trade, but you have to learn somewhere. And all I can do is, help people as best I can. But everyone on the internet just wants to demonize the fact that there are some people that are actually trying to help people to prevent these situations. Meanwhile, they're making it out to being opportunistic. Trust me, I don't make much money because the amount of resources I spend to do everything I do is pretty damn high. My financial engineering degree did not teach me to trade. It actually screwed up one of the things, and I talked about it in my options course, where my financial engineering degree, I remember a mathematical proof why a European option is worth the same amount of money as an American option. And if you don't trade options, you don't know what the differences are. And because of that financial engineering degree, I entered a really big trade with the European option. And I was under the impression that it would have the same value as an American option. And I learned my lesson the hard way that it didn't. And that's correct. My financial engineering degree did not teach me how to trade because no one at that university that was teaching me financial engineering was a proper trader. They were all, PhDs in financial modeling and stuff. So no, the degree does not help. A university education on trading, as far as I know, does not exist. That doesn't mean my financial engineering degree was worthless. My financial engineering degree taught me a lot about financial markets, and the financial engineering degree got me a job in the financial sector. Now, in the financial sector, my job wasn't exactly trading related, but I was around hedge funds quite a bit. But then I had to save up money, pay for the trading education, because I knew that going into trading without that education was going to be a big problem. Just like I knew, getting behind the wheel of a car without proper training is going to be a big problem. Also, why I've taken training on how to shoot a gun, even though I don't currently own one, probably should. But yes, I have taken courses on how to shoot a gun because that is what a responsible person does before they buy a gun. A degree in computing didn't teach me how to write computer programs. Well, I took computer science in college, and yes, a computer science degree does teach you how to write code. I will say that. And I needed those computer science courses because I'm happy that I took those computer science courses while I was getting my geology degree. I took a bunch of math and computer science, and that's how I was able to get into the financial engineering program. I've never taken a business class in my life. I've never taken an economics course in my life. I've never taken finance or economics or anything related to finance. But because I had the math background, the computer science background, I was accepted into the financial engineering program, which I'm kind of happy I completed. And that was not easy either, by the way. All right. So